Over the past month, corn and soybean basis has strengthened across the eastern corn belt. Local corn basis movement to May futures was between a 1 cent per bushel decrease and an 18-cent per bushel increase between the third weeks of March and April. Local soybean basis movement to May futures was between a 5 cent per bushel increase and a 30-cent per bushel increase. In both cases, strengthening outpaced the historical average. I'm Josh Strine, a PhD candidate in agricultural economics at Purdue University, and this is Purdue Commercial AgBriefs, quick research-based insights to support better farm management decisions. Today we'll be discussing current trends and variation in corn and soybean basis across the eastern corn belt. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Over the last month, corn basis trends across the eastern corn belt returned to historically suggested patterns of early spring strengthening. In all but one crop reporting district tracked by the crop basis tool, corn basis to May futures increased over the past 4 weeks. Basis increases were smallest in Ohio and Michigan and largest in Illinois. The lone example of basis weakening occurred in northeast Ohio, where basis fell by 1 cent per bushel to negative 8 cents per bushel. The greatest strengthening occurred in southeast Illinois, where basis increased by 18 cents per bushel to negative 3 cents per bushel. Recent movement in corn basis outpaced gains in the historical average across the region. As a result, multiple crop reporting districts now have local basis levels above what the 3-year average would suggest. For example, in southeast Indiana, corn basis strengthened 12 cents per bushel relative to the historically suggested 2 cents per bushel. And in southwest Illinois, corn basis increased by 17 cents per bushel relative to the historically suggested 3 cents per bushel. However, recent trends do not tell the whole story. Regional variation that has persisted throughout the marketing year still shapes the corn basis map. While basis increases in Ohio were among the lowest over the past month, it still has some of the highest local basis levels. In fact, corn basis in April across several regions in Ohio is the highest it has been in at least a decade. On the other hand, basis strengthening in Iowa was greater over the past month, but the state still has the lowest local basis levels. The greatest change in the regional basis map over the past month occurred in the southern parts of Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio, where strong increases pushed local basis levels into positive territory along the Ohio River. Turning to soybeans, the picture is similar to that of corn. In every crop reporting district tracked by the crop basis tool, soybean basis to May futures increased by at least 6 cents per bushel. In general, basis increases over the past month outpaced the historical trend. Basis strengthening was greatest in Illinois, Iowa, and along the Ohio River. Northeast Illinois basis movement over the past month was representative of trends across the state. Over the past month, local basis increased by 20 cents per bushel, outpacing the historical trend of 6 cents per bushel. Despite the stronger movement, current basis of negative 28 cents per bushel is still well below the historical average of negative 8 cents per bushel. Across the state, basis level ranged from 8 cents below the historical average to 7 cents above. In Iowa, west central soybean basis to May futures best represents the state. In the district, basis increased by 13 cents per bushel to negative 69 cents per bushel. The increase was above the historical trend of 9 cents per bushel, but current basis is still well below the 2-year historical average of negative 51 cents per bushel. Basis strengthening along the Ohio River was most extreme in south central Ohio, where it was a 28 cent per bushel increase, in southeast Indiana, where there was a 30 cent per bushel increase. Looking at the average of all river terminals in Ohio and Indiana, basis increased by 29 cents per bushel. This was well above the historical average of no change from March to April. The strengthening was a significant reversal from last month, where soybean basis weakening was restricted to crop reporting districts along the rivers. The April soybean basis map tied all of the recent trends together. While Illinois and Iowa had the greatest statewide basis movement, there wasn't much change in their basis level relative to the other states in March. The largest shift in the local basis strength was along the Ohio River. Recent strengthening in southern Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio created positive basis in multiple crop reporting districts. As we look ahead to May, the historical trends suggest that both corn and soybean basis to July futures will increase over the next month. but it is worth noting that in each of the past 2 years, basis to July futures dropped sharply in the fourth week of May, a reminder of weekly volatility. Over the past 3 years, the greatest increase in corn basis between April and May occurred in Indiana, and additionally, the trend suggests the corn basis along the river will weaken, which will again be a reversal of the strongest corn basis gains seen this month. Soybean basis increases are projected to be comparable across the 5 states based on the 2-year average. You can read more about the recent basis movement in the April crop basis update published on the Purdue Center for Commercial Agricultural website. And if you want to explore basis levels specific to your area, check out the Purdue crop basis tool. You'll find links to both in the descriptions below. Thank you for watching Commercial Ag Briefs. If you found this useful, subscribe for more research-based insights, and we'll see you next time.